Welcome to Miss Enjoy's Spiritual Life Advice channel, the place for spiritual and general life advice. A list of services provided and instructions for making appointments, payments, or donations is provided in the channel description as well as in the description of each video. If you like my channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And always remember to enjoy life. Hello everybody. Welcome to Miss Enjoy's Spiritual Life Advice channel. And I'm Miss Enjoy. I want to start off telling you a little bit about myself. I am an empath, a healer. I have dream premonitions. I read tarot cards. Those are my tools of divination. And I'm a mom and a wife. My journey began after I didn't have such a great time being a mom and a wife. I was good at it. I was awesome at it, but it just, while it was familiar to me, things that are familiar to us are supposed to be things that we move away from in our current lifetime. You're supposed to break new ground and explore new things. And your soul, if you're on a certain level, will call you to that. So my destiny was calling. I just felt a constant pull to get away from what I was going through, from what I was doing, from the norm, from what I had been doing, because it was something I had been doing my entire life, caring for other people, looking out for other people, taking care of children, taking care of adults, but not myself. So it was time for me to get out and find me, that side of me, my spiritual side, and what would actually make me happy. Because sometimes you're good in life, you're just good. You mean you're okay, but you're not happy. And that's a big difference, a big difference. So I was called to go and pursue or finish my education. So I started college. I said to myself, well, I'm trying to be happy here. So one of the things I love is music. I absolutely love music. I love to sing. And so I was like, well, and I love to teach and I love kids. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a music teacher. And when I got there, that was all going pretty well. But once again, it was something that was easy. It was easy for me. I'm musically inclined. Like I said, I've been singing since I could talk, probably before I could actually speak. So I took a couple of psychology classes. And it really got to the point where that was something that I was feeling I wanted to do. I picked up on it really quickly, and learning that I'm an empath, that's almost like being a natural psychologist. You already know people. You already know the ins and outs of people and the functionality of people. And you even have your built-in radar as far as picking up on good people, bad people, lying people, and people that just don't mean you any good. In a way, it's a good thing to have that built-in antenna, but in a way, it's not a good thing, because when you have that person that's smiling in your face and trying to pretend that they like you, but you're like, nah, yeah. So that's hard, because it makes it very hard to become comfortable with a person or to open up and accept people. Because how can you accept someone when you know that deep inside they don't like you? So I'm taking my psychology classes. I decided, okay, well, this is what I want to do. I want to try to go maybe help people. And the life experiences that I've had can help other people. So I want to go down that road. So I began taking psychology classes. Some things occurred in my life that I was unable to finish my college education, but I ended up doing pretty well. I actually ended up taking about 20 some odd credit hours in psychological studies. That's not counting my social studies, sociologies, and theological studies like world religion and ethical studies. Of course, I also took communications. Everybody's got to take that. So I got really close. I got stuck on math because I can't do algebra. Numbers and letters should not play together. And I also had a situation in my life where someone became very ill, and that completely, totally sidetracked me. So at this point in my life, several major crises were occurring. And I could not finish my education. I was upset about that. I had to completely drop that and everything concerning my direction where I wanted to go to care for other people again. And I was totally devastated by that. And I met my twin flame. We'll talk more about that in the future. So there were so many things pulling on my soul at that particular point in time. There was nothing for me to do but run from that situation. So that's what I did. I took flight. And in a lot of ways, I lost a lot of things. But if you know anything about flight, you know that the more you try to carry, if you're trying to fly somewhere, the heavier and longer, even if you can even get off the ground, it's easier to go, it's easier to travel light. It's easier to leave that baggage. So I was able to get away. I left a lot of baggage behind. As always, people always get hurt in the process. I hate to say that, but it occurred. It happened in my life. But it took me to a place where I had no opportunity but to grow. As my load got lighter, I was able to fly higher and higher and higher. And eventually it brought me to the point where I was able to realize what direction I really wanted to go into my life. And there were still steps to that. I got a job that was actually absolutely horrible. I worked at a correctional facility for almost a year. And basically, I was incarcerated from 8 to 10 hours a day for 5, sometimes 6 days a week. And I was unable to treat people like people. And that was very, very difficult for me. I'm a very empathetic person, like I said, and it's very hard for me to look at someone who made a mistake and they're being treated as if they're not even a human being. Because we all make mistakes. Even the law enforcement that was doing so. You've made mistakes as well. So I got out of that situation and I ended up going to work in a happy place. So when I got to this happy place to work, which I love my job, I love where I work, I love the people, it's an uplifting, positive environment. The energy there is just amazing and awesome, and all the people that are there are just amazing and awesome. So I'm not going to go into exactly where I work, but to everybody from there who happens to watch, hi, I love y'all. When I got this job, I got the opportunity to have a lot of free time. On some nights, there are thousands and thousands of people at this place, and on some nights there's no one there. It's like crickets. We're the cleaning crew, and we clean after hours. So I was able to have a lot of solitude in my job. I was able to put on headphones and listen to whatever I chose to listen to. So at first, because I love music, I was listening to music, and you get tired of your playlist. You can only put so much on your phone, and then you kind of get tired of that. I just got tired. And I started to go to YouTube. I said, well, let's see what's going on in the world. So I go to YouTube and I said, well, let me figure out what interests me, what I want to see. And at first I started watching a lot of factual information videos, just random information videos like top 25, top 10 facts list. And eventually I started watching or refreshing my memory on things that I was always interested in or already knew a little bit about. So I went from mythology, religion, things that interested me. I got into a lot of conspiracy theories, and I just went on an informational downloading spree, not knowing that it was leading me somewhere. It was leading me somewhere. So basically, where it led me was to here. It led me to realize that not even a lot of the information I was watching, I already knew. I didn't realize necessarily how it related to each other. I didn't realize how it affected me spiritually and how it all tied together. A lot of the information were things I had learned in different areas of my life, along my road in life, and I didn't realize how they related or were relevant to each other. And I realized that not only that, but there are a lot of people out there by the comments on some of the videos who clearly were lost. They didn't understand what the heck was going on in a lot of the videos. And then in my personal world, because I'm a big Facebooker. So as I would post certain things, and people would begin to say, well, what is she talking about? What are you talking about? I started to get a lot of inbox messages. I started to get a lot of questions about everything that, or things that I would post, from the supernatural to the spiritual to the religious to the conspiracy theories to science and everything. So I found myself, not only that, but because I'm an empathetic person, counseling people, talking to people, enlightening people, teaching people, and it's to the point where most of the time I'm home and I'm just like hanging out with my divine masculine, and I can barely pay attention to him because I have people in my inbox that I'm counseling, that I'm answering their questions. I'm awakening them. I'm explaining to them why they're feeling this way on this specific day, and how the full moon eclipse is affecting them, and how they're being upgraded, and how we're living in the 3D and how it relates to the 4D and the 5D. I will go more into that in my future videos. So I decided that even though I have a wonderful job that I love, and until this takes me somewhere where that no longer serves me, because we all get to that point where that 9 to 5 just no longer serves us, I decided the spiritual path and teaching and trying to enlighten others and help others to understand what's going on, so that we can all move on to the 4D and the 5D and beyond. In layman's terms, I'll be here to explain to you the unexplainable. I won't be using a lot of big words. When I break down those words, I'll be defining them and putting them in a way that any and everybody can understand and benefit and grow from the journey that we all need to be trying to take as a whole. So that's basically about who I am and my mission. My channel, when we get off the ground, because it's just my introduction video. My first video from here, we will probably go into the definitions. I didn't get a chance to. That was my first original plan for a video, but that didn't go so well. I had to regroup. I will be talking about everything. We will be talking about life, spirituality, love, relationships, raising children, dealing with your parents, dealing with narcissistic people, dealing with issues in the workplace, dealing with the stars, the planets, the universe. We're going to cover everything. Tarot, spiritual guidance. We're going to talk about aliens, a Mandela effect, string theory, multiverses. We're going to go deep. And I plan to have guest speakers, and we're going to have offers and giveaways when we get to a certain point, when we get off the ground. I always appreciate donations. I also do natal reports, natal charts, tarot card readings, and just other spiritual advising. When I get off the ground, I have a trip to take shortly, and then when I return from that trip, I'm going to institute a regular regimen that will incorporate certain things. I want to do tarot card of the day, which will be something that I'll do daily. I'll do that here, and I'll also probably do that on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, all that information. Find me on Facebook. How to donate, how to book readings, how to schedule any other services or time with me will be posted in the description of the video and on the page description as well. So follow me. Also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share, because that's how I get all my attention. And when I get back from my trip and we get things off the ground after my first few explanation videos, we're going to have a weekly regimen. So I'm going to need everybody to tune in on Mondays. We're going to have Manifestation Mondays. On Tuesdays, we're going to have Tarot Tuesdays. That's going to be everything tarot. I'm going to start out explaining tarot and how it works, so you understand what goes on when I do readings and when you go to watch other people's readings, and also the history of tarot and where it comes from and why it's not evil, Christian people. We're going to have Wisdom Wednesdays, where we're going to talk about whatever. That's going to be the days that we discuss science and multi-universe theories and things that are really factual or that you just need to generally know about. For instance, coming up on Easter, I'll be talking about all the different origins of the holidays and how they relate to each other, spanning across all different religions. And then, speaking of religion, we're going to have Theology Thursday, which I'm going to try to focus on a different religion or spiritual practice each different week. Some may get so involved that I need to address them in, 2 different segments or 2 different weeks, but we'll get there. I want everybody to be aware of everything out here, everything the universe has to offer you. I also have a special guest scheduled for that. I have a relative coming on, which is a brother from the Nation of Islam, who's actually an actual relative of mine, will be coming to discuss that with you so that you can better understand that aspect of religion. Then everybody's got to have a Freaky Friday. That's what we're going to address. Aliens, the supernatural, teleportating cats, which I happen to have. I'm telling you, it's the truth. Let's see, Mandela effect, the fact that we're living in the Matrix and all that great stuff. That's going to be our conspiracy. I want to do one. We're going to do one on Denver Airport, the Illuminati. We're going to talk about all that. That's going to be for Freaky Fridays. Then we're going to go in. Then we're going to do Star Saturdays. That's going to be everything astrological, your zodiac signs, your planet placements, your moon, your true node, all these different things that you may hear and not quite understand about astrology and the universe and actual planetary sciences. We're going to talk about that on Saturdays. I'm not sure what, or if anything, or maybe if I'll take Sundays off, but we'll see. If anybody's got any ideas or any suggestions, I may do simply a Q&A session, possibly, once I get live chat going on Sundays. If anybody's got any suggestions or any questions ever, always include them in the comments. I'm going to try my very, very, very best to try to answer or respond to whatever is worthy of answers and response, because, some of that's not going to be worthy. But we'll try. I'm gonna give it a wholehearted try. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Please come back. Check out my next video, and I hope to build a long, loving, and lasting relation to you, everybody. Peace out. Level up.